Welcome to the Expired Podcast by Macy Bookout and Natalie Gard. New episodes out every Monday. Get early access to our episodes when you subscribe to our YouTube channel or download wherever you get your podcast. This is the Expired Podcast.
Okay. I hate when that happens.
I'm loving this Stanley dupe.
I love that.
Walmart.
Really?
Stanley dupe.
Dupe.
Not $40. $8.
Balling on a budget, baby.
Balling on a budget. Always. Okay.
Always, right? Like, who doesn't ball on a budget?
TJ Maxx.
I find it to be like a sport.
Oh, yeah. If you can get a good deal.
I'm competitive. If I get some good for cheap,
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling everybody.
Yeah. Go there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to start this week's episode of Expired Podcast with something new.
Yay! This is going to be fun because it gives a little lightness to the episode.
Yes. Okay, so I'll start.
Okay.
With an interview question. Maybe two. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, what is something that never fails to make you laugh?
People falling. I love to see people get hurt. I'm a sicko, but I love when people fall or get scared.
That was not what I was...
Really? I die. Me and my mom send each other TikToks or videos or shit where we're dying laughing because we have the same sense of humor.
Oh my God. You are like Jade.
I'm telling you, me and Jade.
You and my daughter, would be dangerous
together. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What's your answer to it?
I'm very guilty of like, if I watch videos of people laughing or little kids laughing.
Oh, that's great.
So do you remember a few years ago the Chewbacca lady?
Yes.
Okay, see shit like that. Like if you're uncontrollably laughing,
you're laughing
I
too.
Can't sit next to you because I'm gonna laugh for no reason, and I'm not. I say my Giggle box gets turned upside down, and it won't turn back over. Like I'm the person you don't want to sit next to in church or class or whatever, because once it starts, it's not stopping. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, one more.
Okay.
Let's see. What is the weirdest job you've ever had?
I haven't had that many jobs.
Yeah, me either.
I worked at a restaurant.
Same.
I worked at a church nursery.
Hell no.
I worked at a daycare at the same time.
At the same time? Heck no.
I would leave one job and go to the other. It was bad.
Granted, I didn't have that luxury because I had kids
you
so
had
young.
kids of your own, like you were taken up. And the radio station. But I can tell you the weirdest thing that happened to me at a job.
Yes, tell me that.
Okay, so I was working at a church nursery. I was tired. I was doing morning internships at the radio station, going to school during the day, working at a preschool in the afternoon, and then doing this church thing.
Hustle. Straight hustle.
So I picked this kid up because he was obsessed with the light switch.
Mm-hmm.
He loved to turn it on, loved to turn it off. He thought it was the best thing ever. Kind of like your kids' Giggle thing. Like,
yeah.
I just wanted him to be like...
able to do that.
Yeah.
Because he loved it.
So I did it, and I would pick them up so that I would, like, be holding them, like, back to my front so that he could see the light switch and turn it on and off. And so I did that, and I put him down, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's...
He shit on you, didn't he?
He shit on me. He shit on me. And I was wearing, like, a sweater and a sequin tank top.
Oh, no.
And
Did it stick in between the sequins?
Everywhere. All the way down.
Oh, no.
I did get to leave early, though, that day.
Were you able to, like, salvage it?
Oh,
or
no.
Did you have to throw it away?
I had to throw that away.
Oh, man.
Because it was a yellow top.
Gosh, no.
Oh, God, it was bad. I had to figure out a way to take the tank top off without getting shit in your hair all over me.
Yeah.
And then I literally drove home topless with just a sweater on. was so good.
Oh my God. And then you still showed up the next day.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh my God. And probably lifted him up to use the lights.
100.
You're a good daycare teacher, man. Nursery, whatever.
It's a funny story.
That's fantastic. I mean, kids.
Very
unpredictable.
What's yours?
Oh, I would say the weirdest job I ever had, only because of the length of time it lasted and what transpired, was Baskin-Robbins.
My mom worked at Baskin-Robbins.
Really? Probably longer than I did.
What happened?
So, obviously, I found out I was pregnant with Bentley. I was a junior in high school. And my parents didn't know. Well, they knew I was pregnant, but they did not know that I was, like, trying to get a job, right? Because I was also, after school, I would go to my dad's body shop and work there doing, like, estimates and stuff. So...
You're trying to get out of that.
Yes. I don't know why, but, stubbornness, I guess.
I couldn't work for my dad.
Proving independent. My dad's fine to work for. He's a good teacher. He pays well.
You just want something else.
Yeah, I'm like, I need to be independent, So, in that pregnancy, I really craved chocolate milkshakes from Baskin-Robbins. Not like, no other milkshake would do it. Only Baskin-Robbins chocolate milkshakes. So I remember being in the drive-thru and seeing on their like sign,
help wanted.
Yeah, we're now hiring. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm coming here tomorrow again after school. And if you know where I went to school, I had to drive all the way
back
to East Brainerd to that Baskin-Robbins.
Oh, that's a good one too.
And I could have gone to the one on 58 Highway, but you had to get out there, and I didn't want to get out of the car. So
drive through all the way.
Yes. So I'm like, tomorrow I'm coming and I'm going to fill out an application. Because it would be great to work here and get all the chocolate
all
milkshakes.
The ice cream, yeah.
And a job. Like, who doesn't want to work at an ice cream shop? Like, why not?
It's fun. Why not?
Yeah. So, come back the next day. I'm in my school clothes, which at my high school, even though it was a public school, I had to wear khaki pants and a polo shirt of, like, one of three colors. And
Looked
a
very
belt.
professional.
Yeah. And I had Crocs on. This was before Crocs became cool again. This is like the first time they were cool. So, because at school you had to have closed-toed shoes. So, I walk in, I fill out the application, and the manager happened to be there. And he's like, hey, I can interview you now if you've got time. And I was like, hell yeah, I got time. I ain't got nothing but time, basically. So, sit down, get hired. And he's like, when can you start? And I was like, right now, if you need me, like, whatever. He's like, all right, cool. So he goes in the back.
Gets you a shirt.
Yes.
When they hire you on the spot, that is a red flag.
Oh my God, listen. It was like that. First of all, I'm all of like 5'4" and 100 pounds soaking wet at this time. Still 5'4", just I don't weigh 100 pounds soaking wet anymore. But, and I mean, that's even pregnant. I was probably 110 pounds, but...
How far along were you?
3-4 months. Okay. Maybe. But I worked out then because I played sports before that. So I had a lot of muscle weight. I was in way better shape. So he brings me this shirt out that's like, I swear to God, it was like a shirt he had worn all day. It was like a 3X men's, but it had holes in it, and stains on it. Yeah. It smelled like mothballs. But you know what? I was like, no, I can't bitch. This is my job. I got to do it. Got to wear the shirt. It's fine. And, he's like, we're ordering yours. Like, it'll be here. I'm like, all right, you know what? Whatever. Who cares? I'm about to get sticky from ice cream anyways. Gives me a hat. Same situation. At this point, I'm like, hold on. Like, lice and just things, now it's dirty. Like, now it's raunchy. But I did it. All right, whatever. Keep in mind, I'm still just in the same, like I kept my shirt on under that shirt because it was so nasty, honestly. My hair was down because I just come from school. I didn't have my hair up in a pony, didn't have a hair tie on my wrist. I'm there. I am left there alone to run everything. He does not show me how to do anything. I don't know how to work the computer, the cash register, the drive-through. Nothing. I don't know how to make things. Like, if somebody comes in there with a complicated order, I'm not your girl. Yeah. I don't know. But I get it done, right? He shows up like 2 hours later. proceeds to yell at me for having my hair down and for not having the appropriate shoes on.
Shut the fuck
I'm like, bro, you just hired me.
What are you freaking talking
I
about?
put your nasty ass shirt on. I got this stupid ass hat on.
No one's complaining.
Right. Like, you didn't teach me how to do anything, and I've been doing it for 2 hours. Like, I figured it out. I could not believe. I was like, hey, man, like, you hired me on the spot. Like, if you want my hair to be provide hair ties, I'll bring one in the future. Trust me. You know, I don't want my hair in somebody's ice cream or getting in the ice cream at all. Like, no. Anyways, I never went back. And I never even went back to get my paycheck.
On the spot?
No.
Or you just
I continued to work after that.
Oh.
Yes.
Good for you.
And then I never went back.
At closing time, you're like...
Not even to get my paycheck. Like,
you're better off.
Baskin-Robbins still owes me like $42.
Shut your mouth.
Swear to God. They do. It was like $6.75 or something, I think, at the time was minimum wage. Starting wage. They still owe me like $42.
Baskin-Robbins.
And I left the t-shirt and the hat.
Check.
Or just give me free milkshakes.
Yeah, seriously.
It was awful.
Did you ever, like, I never worked at a tanning bed, but I've always thought they were, like, the cool girls who worked at tanning beds.
Yeah, I was always really jealous of people that, like, could utilize tanning beds and get tan, like, as a redhead. That just don't, like, I just don't go to the tanning bed and get tan.
Did you ever go to the tanning bed?
I think I might have went, like, twice.
My senior year.
And it didn't work.
I went to the tanning bed every day. I used the lotions. I spray tanned. I should post a picture of my senior prom.
How tan were you?
So tan. I would tan.
Then
for my
spray
senior,
tan?
Then spray tan, and I did not shower.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Double dip. Not
Did you dance a lot of prom? Because if you're sweating, you know that had to have come off.
No, I'd only been to one prom before that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was,
So you smelled like the tanning bed and spray tan?
Yeah.
But you looked good, didn't you?
Oh, I looked
fly.
We should post our prom pictures. Did you go to prom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I went to...
We need to. Because mine is bad. I love
be honest,
the tanning bed.
My prom picture, I feel like my prom picture is actually really good. The second one.
Yeah.
My junior year prom. My sophomore year prom, I had braces. It was weird.
Yeah.
Probably.
Do you have pictures?
Yeah.
Okay, send them to me.
Okay.
So we can post them.
But the junior year, the ones with me and Ryan, I was actually pregnant, but nobody knew except for our families.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was a great time.
I bet it was.
With all my friends. Oh,
living
I was
it up.
so annoyed.
Yeah.
Well, they were all drunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, even if I wasn't pregnant, though, I didn't drink. But because I was pregnant, I didn't feel good. I was like, this is the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
But my mom said, you need to go to prom. You'll be mad if you don't.
Yeah.
No, it was a terrible time.
Yeah.
But Lil Wayne was popping, though.
Always.
Our rap music is way better than kids' rap music today.
Mm-hmm.
Bentley will tell me to play a song. I'm like, I can't understand it.
At least our rap, you could understand it, you know.
It was vulgar, but it made sense.
Okay, speaking of tanning beds, let's talk about the Nashville tanning bed murders.
Yes.
1996.
Do that.
Okay, so this was February 22nd of 1996 on Church Street in Nashville, Tennessee. You said something was across the street?
Yeah, it was actually across the street was a gentleman's club, aka a strip club, called Chelsea's.
Okay.
It's no longer there, but it was at the time.
Well, the Exotic Tan for men is no longer there either. It was a tanning spa for men, aka a front for
Prostitution,
sex trafficking, prostitution, massages, like all the things.
Yeah.
They
Adult entertainment that is illegal.
Yeah, illegal. Open from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m.
10 a.m. Could you imagine, like, 10 a.m.? Just going for breakfast? Like, what?
No.
Oh, okay. different conversation for a different time.
So on February 22nd, about 2:00, there is this Exotic Tan for Men, and the man who owns it, I have no idea who he is. I could never find a name.
Me either.
He had lost contact with the 2 girls that were working there that day.
Mm-hmm.
He called them around 11. They were seen around 11. It's like noon, 1 now, and he can't, no one's answering the phone at the business. So he decides he's going to go there. And at 2 p.m., Tiffany Campbell and Melissa Chilton were found unalive.
Yes. And found by the owner.
Yeah. They were both 18 years old.
That was shocking to me. Very young.
I know.
Both, one of them was a student.
Mm-hmm. At MTSU. That was Melissa. She was a cheerleader, a good girl. You know, by all accounts, she was studying at MTSU.
Psychology and criminology.
Yeah, that's big time.
Mm-hmm.
Her family did not know she was working there.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was Tiffany. She was also a very positive person. She spent a lot of time with her grandmother and often went to church with her,
Mm-hmm.
asked her about fashion advice. Should I dye my hair this certain color? Just 2 very normal good girls.
Yep. Just trying to make some side money.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is that the owner found them both, but they were found in the break room.
Yeah.
So one of the things for me is the severity, the cruelty of the attack. Both of them had been stabbed so many times. I think it was around 100 times combined. So 100 stab wounds between both of them. There was no murder weapon that was found. But investigators did say that they believe that it was a large double-edged sword. It says possibly a bayonet. So
what is a
double-edged knife? But
what's a bayonet?
So it's like a dagger, almost
so bigger knife.
Yeah, not sword like medieval knights.
Right.
But if you think about it, when you see a knife, one side's flat and one side, usually the curved side, is the blade.
Jagged, yeah.
A double-edged knife would be where it comes to a point in both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of it's actually meant for stabbing.
A hunting knife or...
Well, even hunting knives, though, typically only have one side because it's for cutting.
Yeah.
A double-edged knife is both sides, so it penetrates from all angles, not just one. So if you think of a steak knife or a pocket knife,
one edge is the sharper.
Yes, and the other side is the dull side, the flat side.
Yeah.
This was not. This was hunting.
Meant to kill.
Carving. Yeah, meant to penetrate.
Mm-hmm.
And they're usually extremely sharp because they're not used every day. Right. The police department said that at the time the women were seen alive around 11 o'clock in the morning, but they were dead by 2:10 p.m. when they were found by the owner. They think that at least one of the victims knew whoever did this because the door, it was like a buzz-in door. So when I think of this, I think of when you're watching a show or when you're in a big city and you have to get into a building, but you need to be buzzed in, basically. So you hit the call button and the person's like, oh, they're cool. I know them. They're coming to me. And they buzz them in. So the person that did this was buzzed in.
Okay.
So either they trusted this person, even if it was just a customer, they trusted them to be just a customer. They knew them. Either way, they felt confident
everything's
in buzzing them in.
Yeah.
Right. Through the locked door. Because they wouldn't have been able to get in without that happening.
Right.
It says the victims were found in an employee-only area, not in one of the rooms where customers were entertained.
Okay.
So that also tells me that this person might have known where they were or knew the building or
had been there before.
Yes. It says that they believe this was a crime of passion due to the violence of the stabbings and the 100 stab wounds between the both of them. Evidence was really scarce in the case because the killer had unplugged a surveillance camera and stole the VCR connected to the surveillance camera as they fled the scene. So they had to know this place.
They had been there
or
before.
Knew they had time to do this.
Yes.
Because that's such a...
motive, opportunity, means.
Yes. All checking all the boxes for me. Premeditated to know.
I'm going to bring a knife and I know that this is a
I know how to get
time.
buzzed in.
Yeah.
I know where to do it where people can't see from the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know where this VCR is. I know how to unplug the camera.
Yeah.
All the things.
Yeah.
All the things. They're checking all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, first responders to the scene contaminated the scene.
It was 96.
By walking through blood to render aid to Tiffany and Melissa. So can't really blame them because I don't think they had
proper protocol at the time.
Yeah, and also I don't know if the message was relayed that they were already deceased or the message was like there are two stab wound victims, like they need help. So, but either way, the scene was very much tampered with, not from a criminal standpoint, but from a lack of good communication standpoint.
I'm going to just grab this heart stress ball right now because I really need it.
Okay.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
So in the following days after this happened, Metro Police in Nashville, they followed up on leads. Obviously, they were questioning, the owner, the customers, anyone who would have had close relationships with the girls, their families. They were going on, trying to figure out what happened. And obviously they had a long list of suspects because of the nature of the work that these girls were doing. And they just had lots of people
and unconnected people too.
Yeah.
Just,
customers that could have been there, and left DNA, but
people that maybe traveled there for work, that frequented it when they were in town.
And this was more common back in 96.
Way more common.
We had one here. Yeah, it was not as uncommon as it is today.
Yes.
The investigators actually questioned a serial killer, which I think we should do this case. This is Paul Dennis Reed. He was called the fast food killer.
I watched so many things on this.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It's fascinating. Randomly killed 3 fast food workers in the state of Tennessee less than a year after this. About a year after this.
Yep. I wonder have they ever tried to connect the fast food killer to the fast food chain attacks that happened all over the country?
I don't know.
It was where someone would, do you know what I'm talking about? Someone would call and tell them they were police and they needed to search people and do things I wonder if that's at all connected.
I don't know.
Because I feel like not too much time in between.
Yeah.
Where it could definitely be
that. I know that.
Or one was influenced off of the other.
Right. They tried to pin the other crime. But Paul Dennis Reed was the fast food killer of 1997 and was convicted, and the rest is history.
Wild.
We got to do that case.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
So 17 years after the killings, Nashville police thought that they had solved the case when they indicted Patrick Streater, who was in a California prison at the time I have notes about this.
Okay. Break out those notes, girl.
This was fascinating to me. So, Patrick was actually a former boyfriend of Melissa, I believe.
One of the girls. I don't know if it was Tiffany or Melissa.
Yeah, it might have been Tiffany, honestly.
I have more.
Yeah, it was Tiffany. It was Tiffany. So Patrick Lamont Streater was a former boyfriend of Tiffany Campbell. And
yes, Tiffany.
He was in Carmichael, California, and was the football coach at Holy Jesuit High School, an all-boys private school. He was a walk-on assistant coach in 2001, 2002, and then ultimately got...
What does a walk-on coach mean?
Walk-on assistant means you're an assistant coach and you do all the duties, but you don't get paid. You volunteer to prove that you're good enough, and then he was actually hired as the head coach.
Yeah, but
after that.
He was never like a teacher at the school.
No, he had no contact with any of the students, was never in a classroom, nothing of that nature.
Okay.
Which typically, I wouldn't say typically, but that's way more usual for a private school.
Okay.
Because they have the funds to pay people that aren't teachers.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's like a rule for public, at least where we live, it's a rule for public schools that if you're a coach, you must teach some class.
Yeah.
And have a degree to teach.
Mm-hmm.
So he left, out of nowhere, he left the coaching job. And that was around the same time that he was arrested for a string of home invasion robberies in 2002. So leading up to that, in Granite Bay, California, in 2002, a woman was in her neighborhood and she saw a man in a car. And she said, like, I just got this bad vibe. Like, he was, like, staking out, you know, what houses to hit. But she didn't use those words. But she was just like, I just got this bad vibe. Like, he was just rolling through our neighborhood. But, like, it looked like he was on a mission that wasn't there to actually be in the neighborhood for a reason.
Good. Yeah.
So she ended up getting in her car and following him and calling police. And that's how they pinned him to the string of robberies that had happened.
Snaps for her.
See, she followed her instinct. Not saying you should always follow people, but. So he did plead guilty to the string of robberies, and he was actually sentenced to 12 years in prison for all of the robberies that he had committed. This is also while he was a football coach at a private school. So, fun facts. That was fascinating to me. Absolutely fascinating. It was like a childhood dream of his to become a football coach, too.
Double life.
Mm-hmm. So, at the time, he was serving time in prison in California for the robberies is when in Nashville, Tennessee, the police were able to indict him on 2 counts of premeditated first-degree murder. And after serving 2 years for the crime, prosecutors in the state dismissed the charges for insignificant evidence. And I believe, if I'm correct, they had DNA evidence that I think because of the robberies, they were actually able to pinpoint it because he was a suspect early on as well.
Mm-hmm. They questioned him a lot.
Yes. But ultimately, after serving 2 years, they dropped everything as it pertains to the tanning bed murders because, in my opinion, there had to have been some sort of technicality with the DNA evidence they had. Yeah,
like it was no good now because it was 17 years later.
Yeah, it wasn't preserved.
Wasn't preserved right.
Or it wasn't taken
correctly.
Legally either. Something.
That could be it too. We don't know because, like we've said before, Tennessee is so tight-lipped.
On open cases.
Because this is still an open case. No one has ever been charged in the double homicide of the Nashville tanning bed murders, which blows my mind. Like, could you imagine?
No.
Oh.
No, I couldn't.
So a couple of years later, a year later, because this happened and it was such huge news, like Unsolved Mysteries covered it, obviously the local news, people in Nashville were scared to death. In 1997, the Metro Council, they passed a 17-point regulation that required dancers to register with the city. And it created like a licensing board for adult clubs, like a roster of people who work there.
Yep.
And it imposed a 3-foot buffer between customers and dancers, among tons of other requirements.
Honestly,
killing this business.
Yeah, like you can go to a strip club somewhere and you go to a strip club in Tennessee.
Mm-mm.
It's different.
We don't have...
It's like the Wild Wild West with rolls.
Bar in Chattanooga that I know.
Just...
Yeah. I've never been to a strip club.
I need to take you. So, depending on... I've been to some where I walked in and sat down and been like, I'm out. Yeah. I'm out. Nope, can't do this. You've been to like classy. But I've been to ones where I'm like, no, this is great. Like they're not high. They enjoy the side hustle and you can tell they work hard to be good at it. Mm-hmm. And it's like impressive.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, dang, that's crazy. Like, can you imagine how strong you have to be to do that? Mm-mm. You know what I mean? Like
they're skilled dancers.
Yes. Yeah. And the security is good and the clientele is good. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not so sketchy. Yeah. But a good strip club is a good experience. It is. And it's not, I get that it's not for some people. And trust me, I'm not trying to be at a strip club every other weekend. No. It's got to be a special kind of thing. But I will say as a female, it's way more fun to go with females. Okay. Because we celebrate them and they know we're not creeps. Yeah. You know? Yeah. We're not gonna... So it's like, it's just a girls' night type thing and it's fun. Mm-hmm. That would be my advice. Definitely go with a group of girls that's going to have fun and go to one with strict policies. Yeah. Because then it just turns into a safe environment to just be women. And appreciate women. You know, like it's a positive. Safe. Yes. So that's my take on that.
You're going to have to take me to a strip club.
I will.
All right. So what do you think happened? Because there's lots of theories. I feel like it could be the owner of said business.
I definitely feel like it could be because he did pack up shop and bail. Oh. Like he was a ghost after
Closed and out of there.
Could have been traumatic too for him. True. If it wasn't, if he's not guilty, right? But still, if you own a business like that, I feel like you've seen your fair share of traumatic things because it does kind of just come with the territory, unfortunately. He's high on my list. Yeah. Honestly, the boyfriend is too.
Yeah. Patrick Streater or whatever. Just because he was connected, his DNA was connected, and then it was thrown out. Like, there's too many. He would have known the place if he was dating the girl. Yeah, he would have known where not to get caught or whatever. I also think it could be like
a serial
killer.
Yes, I think so too. That might be highest on my list.
You know what? It reminds me of Ted Bundy. No, not Ted Bundy. The guy who ate people.
Oh, God.
It was just
Dahmer.
Yeah. He would go to these sex clubs. Yeah. Right? And he almost killed someone at these sex clubs. Mm-hmm. So it could have easily been that. It could have also been a repeat customer who had an infatuation with one of these girls and snapped one day. Yeah. And he had been there before.
They got kicked out or banned from coming because he was too aggressive and didn't follow the rules. Or made the women feel uneasy and unsafe. People get banned all the time for stuff like that. And he could have been well, I know a revenge thing. Mm-hmm. I'll show you. Mm-hmm. But that type of situation is way higher on my list, I think, than even the ex-boyfriend. Yeah. Or the owner.
Mm-hmm. It's easier to get away and easier to not leave your evidence behind.
Yeah. And
it's more random. So no one's going to connect you.
Right. And people talk. So the fact that there really is no hearsay or opinion or rumor mill or anything leads me to believe it was more of the either a loner regular customer or the serial killer.
Much like Dahmer.
Yes. Like for me, but that's all we have. One day, hopefully this case is closed and we will have way more information and we could be totally wrong.
Yeah.
But with what we have right now and for how long.
Professional opinion.
Yeah. Professional opinion.
Yeah.
It's not someone tightly connected.
Yeah. That's just our opinion.
Yes.
That's our theory.
Yeah. Theory.
Wild case. I did reach out to Melissa's mom on Facebook. I don't know if she got it yet. We may be updating you on this in the future. So make sure you're, subscribing to our YouTube channel. You're subscribing to whatever, podcast app you use. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Because
feel free to message us, comment.
Oh, yes.
All the things. We like hearing from you.
Mm-hmm.
Our next case.
Okay, tell us.
Is Jill Stacy,
okay.
Hawkins County, Tennessee.
That's where Summer Wells is from.
Yes.
Missing girl, Summer Wells. Go back and check out
that episode. Yeah.
Do you know anything about her? I haven't looked into it yet.
You know what I'm going to say.
What?
Regilla.
That's her full name.
Yeah, but it's not even spelled with a J. It's Regilla.
So her name is Gill. Gill? Jill?
Gill. But no, when they call her by the nickname, which is what she went by, it's Jill. Jill.
Regilla. It's a name I've never heard.
No, I think it's a Southern thing for girls when they try to take family names and make two names into one.
Like Ray and Jillian. Regilla.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
something like that.
I could see that for sure. It's Tennessee.
It's like Regina, but Ray and Gina.
Yeah.
But like not.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah. It will
Can't wait to do the research.
Is this our first time doing 2 cases from the same area? Or no, we've had some from Middle Tennessee that kind of
were the same
crossover, but
and Knoxville, and like we've done a couple Chattanooga cases because that's where we're based.
Yeah, but like this is Hawkins County though.
I know, this is out in the middle of nowhere.
2 in Hawkins County. Like the other ones were like different parts of Knoxville.
Yeah.
Like, this is Hawkins County, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should visit there.
We should.
There's a lot of crime there.
I'm just ready for a vacation at this point. Ready for a vacation.
Oh, I need more than one vacation a year.
Oh, I'm a single woman, so duh.
She's like, yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah, you do. We need to make a trip out of the Expired podcast.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so next case is Jill Stacy from Hawkins County, Tennessee. If you or someone you know has any information, please give it to us now so we can look into it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right.
Sorry. Also, if you know anything about tanning bed murders.
Yeah, seriously. If you were in Nashville in the 90s, I kind of want to...
Ask your parents about it.
I want to ask my girlfriend's parents who lived in Nashville in 96. And just see, like, what they know,
Definitely.
I mean... Why not?
Definitely.
I mean, it was a huge case. So
yeah, for sure.
You never know. If you know someone that had been in the area or lived there, parents that lived there, it'd just be cool to get more perspective.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Okay, this has been the Expired Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Like, follow, share, subscribe.
And if you're going to be an asshole, be a funny one.
And don't do meth.
Bye.